eldest. Hi everyone, this is Janine and Felicity from Ready Together. You'll laugh if you know us well. We're not that technically savvy, and we were just recording and not recording. So
we said a lot of good stuff.
We totally did. It was amazing. Let's see if we can do it again. So we did have a wonderful session on Monday morning, and we said to everybody that we'd do a wrap up, and we're here. So sorry, it's a couple of days late. It's been a really one of those weeks, I think, hasn't it, Felicity?
Yes, absolutely.
So we had a great group, and we just really have to thank all the mums who turned up with their brand new babies to chat to the mum that arrived with who's got 6 weeks to go before her little one comes. So it was really helpful. We had some great tips. We I think it was it was a great checklist for her, wasn't it? And we were saying before that the quote of the day really was that breastfeeding is the partner's nappy changing is the partner's new breastfeeding.
Yes.
Breastfeeding, which basically we were talking about teamwork and how you can work together after baby comes and sort of find
and how important it is to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was really helpful because she and her partner have definitely found that she feeds in the night. She can go back to sleep while dad changes the nappies and settles baby back to bed, and it's really working for them. So we talked about having those conversations before baby comes, the roles that you're going to have, your views on parenting. So we sort of went through a little checklist really. So we had some headings here. Where will the baby sleep? We talked about that and how they want the baby to sleep, and have a chat before baby comes as to their vision for that and how they'd like that to go. Who's going to care for the baby during the night or during the day as well? What are each of your roles with this little one, especially if mum's breastfeeding? Because we were saying we see that dads can sometimes feel a little bit like, oh, what can I do? And they
my
can
role,
have confidence early on in the piece.
Yeah, and I love the way a couple of the mums talked about how initially they both got up and they both were doing everything, and they realised that was maybe not so sustainable, and so they had a conversation going into it as to what their roles would be. So I think that's really good to consider that maybe you both don't get up at the same time because then you both get to get a little bit of sleep if you tag team. But it's obviously going to be different for every family. So it was good to have the experienced mums there as well to go through what they've just done very recently.
Yeah, they were amazing. We also talked about feeding and how what are you planning to do for feeding? Are you planning to breastfeed? Are you planning to which Felicity, you were fantastic with, because we talked about pumping, latching, expectations of breastfeeding, what education people had done before. What else was it that you were going over?
Yeah, I think we talked about keeping your expectations realistic, because there is this the different goals that I think we set ourselves, being achieving professional women before we go into having our little ones, and having a realistic expectation of ourselves as well, and perhaps not saying, right, I'm going to breastfeed for 12 months, but thinking, hey, well, I'm going to give it a go, and the bonding and the connection excuse me, is important as much as the breastfeeding. So there are other ways of achieving that as well, maybe not putting all that pressure on your shoulders, and getting really well informed as to breastfeeding is different for every family. It looks different for every woman, and every couple. So it's a relationship, and it takes time to develop it. So we talked about giving ourselves time, and what else did we talk about?
That was true, actually, because you said, like, with any relationship, whether it's a friendship or your partner or anything, it takes a while to establish that relationship, and you're establishing a relationship with a brand new human that comes into your life, and that was really helpful. I thought that was great.
Yeah, because I think we often really expect to nail it the first week, even though people talk about it taking 6 weeks or 12 weeks, or but still, with I think it's really, really common for women to say, oh, it's just not working. And then you're like, well, how old's the baby? The baby's only a couple of days old, or the baby's a week or 2 weeks old. we wouldn't have that pressure on ourselves if you've just met somebody and you're like, I'm just not getting to know him or her. It's just, it's not working. It's never going to work. But we do that to ourselves with breastfeeding and with caring for our babies. We just expect ourselves, this little voice in the back of our heads, I think, makes us. Actually, one of the mums mum to be was talking about how it's that being kind to yourself and how that's actually really hard to catch yourself.
Yeah.
Not being so kind and being really hard on yourself. So that was something that came up as well. Actually, that just popped into my head.
That was beautiful, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, another mum said, try not to take to heart little comments that are said, throwaway comments that people don't realise the impact that they're having.
Yes.
Even little things like, oh, you due in a few weeks, you too so little, or you're
Yeah.
big, or you're like, just for some reason.
Or the baby's always hungry,
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. It does chip away at your confidence. So I think it is good to have somebody else saying as well, don't take that to heart and let that just wash over you. So there was the other thing that somebody said that I really resonated with me even now, many, many years down the track after having babies. Trying to think exactly how she worded it. She was talking about how her professional, the skills and the attributes you have in your professional life. That's not necessarily the way to nail being a mother, and that mothering well is not. I'm butchering how she said it. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was so true. It's stuck with me since she said it.
That's so interesting. So you mean how we measure ourselves?
Yeah, she was talking about how she's very hard on herself as a mum, saying she's I'm not spending enough time with the kids, and I'm not I'm not the quality. She talked about quality time, and that the measure of being a good mother is not the way we measure ourselves in our normal or usual life. I'm losing my voice again. But it really resonated with me, I think. Sorry, I'm losing it.
Oh, poor thing.
It really resonated with me, because I think we do, that being hard on yourself, we do expect so much of ourselves, and society expects so much of us. The baby's crying somewhere, and why isn't that mother comforting that baby? And the baby's hungry. The baby's always hungry. The baby's always tired. Or where's the hat? All that sort of those little comments. And just when that one of the mums said that she has realised that what stands us out as mums is not that sort of checklist of getting everything right, and quality is not quantity. It's connection. So, and that measure is very, very different to what we get in our jobs before we became mums. So
very true.
Yeah, just
sit into that role, and
hopefully she'll hear this wrap up and it's put it in a post in the group, because she said it much better than I did.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, they were just amazing. It was very clear. Both you and I were like, "Oh yes, yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing." Yeah. You're so right.
It was very good. Very good.
Very good. It was such a beautiful session. And the other things, briefly, because of your poor voice, we went through is who's meals, who's going to provide you with food after baby comes. Have a think about that. Get a meal train going, or order in, or make your own before baby comes. But just know that, especially in these times at the moment, whether visitors are limited or how things are, and with everything going on right now. We talked a lot about self-care again, which we love that topic. We're going to have to broach that again another day, because that was really great. Just how do you care for yourself, those things. And you said that awesome thing, which I remember you said in the self-care talk that we did as well. Sometimes it's just actually having baby asleep on your front and watching Netflix, allowing yourself to have that time to go, I'm doing this. This is cool. We can do that. I can do 2 hours. This is my time. It's cool. It doesn't have to be a massage, or it doesn't have to be the
absolutely. That realistic
Yeah.
sort of changing your perception of
Yes.
and your self-talk
Mm.
of, you know, we all think of me time as going out
Mm.
and doing something.
Mm.
So, you know, it can also be lying there with your baby on your chest and
Yeah.
not doing anything at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Um, you know, being alone in your head if that's where you want to be, or, you know, just being still and quiet for a little while.
Yeah.
So I think labeling that as, you know, this is my break. This is, I'm off duty for a few minutes.
I
So
love
and
that. And
minutes of a few
yeah,
minutes.
and the
Is,
shower was such a great place
yeah,
for everybody, for you. And I remember Jen saying as well with the shower soaps, and one of the mums that came in said she remembered that about the different
yeah,
fragrance shower soaps. And this
yeah,
mum has different fragrances for different moods that she's in different days. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to use that. And it was just a total me time. That was really lovely, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it was a really great chat, actually.
Wasn't it? I
I
know,
got
that hour just flew by. I
well,
could talk for so much longer. And the other things we talked about briefly were visitors, who you're going to have, and how to regulate your visitors, relationships that you have, who are your inner circle, who are those people that you're going to be able to call on for
yeah,
meals, or if you just feel like crying on somebody's shoulder, those really close friends, and those in the outer circle that when they say, I want to come visit you, can I do something to help, you know, to say yes please, could you go to the supermarket on the way, you know, allowing yourself to ask for help, which is just the number one top of the list as far as I'm concerned. I think just ask for help. um,
yeah. It's so hard to do, though. I think
oh, so hard, and we just, some of us are just not
so
well.
many of us just go, no, no, it's fine. It's all
Yes.
good.
Oh good, turn up and I'll make you a cup of tea when you get here. I think no,
Yeah,
it's got to be the other
yeah,
way around. You're a new mum and you're healing, and
yeah,
settle into that role.
yeah,
And then just chatting with each other about how you feel. Parenting's going
yeah.
to go, what are your values? Do they match? Have these chats before baby comes. And we were saying, you know, how little that is done, because you have
Yes,
focused on this birth, and then once you've had the baby, these are sometimes the things that you don't have time or the
yeah,
energy to talk about, and you can see that there's differences there. So it was really good to have that chat, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So pretty
Uh,
much, and then just the love languages, which we went through last time, just what it
yeah,
is about you that makes you feel that you're loved and cherished and cared for, and recognizing that about yourself. Uh, so yeah, it was really nice, and I think probably we should even do another session coming up about the postpartum planning, because it was really
yeah,
great topic, wasn't it?
yeah, it is, and I think it's something that needs to be ongoing, not even just antenatally, but, you know, having, because things change as well. What you think is going to be
Mm.
you know, if you think something's going to be a certain way, and then you have the baby, and, you know, everything shifts. So
Yeah.
having that ongoing
Yeah.
conversation is,
Totally agree with you. And not only
yeah,
does everything shift, then it just changes all the time anyway, because baby's growing and developing, and your
yeah,
baby's needs are changing. So nothing really stays the same, but it's really nice to have that continuum and so that support all the way through. So
yeah,
um, yeah, so we're here for that, which is fantastic. So that was pretty much how it went. We loved it. It was a really great, animated, fun, involved chat. So that's the wrap up from Monday, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks heaps for doing this with me, Felicity, for coming, and we'll see Jen next week. So bye for now. Have a great week. Take
bye.
See ya. Bye.